Today is Friday, September 21st, 2018. My name is Daniel Mullaney, and behind the camera is Jake Griffiths. We're here to film a video source inspection for SciTech Process Solutions. Today, we'll be viewing a fully refurbished HTC 8030 box washer. We're going to go ahead and start by reviewing the tool to see the quality of refurbishment. Then we're going to run a process, and we're going to take a break in the middle while we do the 40-minute dry time. We'll cut, come back to the finish, and inspect the product at the end. So, first, open the latch up to the control area. As you can see, the control area has been cleaned out and refurbished. All the cables have been addressed, or the wiring, has been addressed and ensured that it has the proper pinouts. Everything here looks good. The screen works great as well. We will check that out once we get the tool actually fired up. Now we're coming into the actual chamber itself. So we have one rack for this demonstration today. Here we go. This rack's actually a great rack because it can run a variety of different cassette sizes. Here we have 6-inch. We're also running 8-inch right here. Oh, got a little caught. Also running 8-inch. The chamber inside has been fully cleaned out and refurbished as well. So we address all of the spray arms right here to ensure they spin correctly. We also take them apart to ensure that the groove for the Teflon ball bearings is within tolerance. And we individually inspect all of the side air knives to ensure a good clean. Taking a look at the door, we've also rebuilt the door. We have new windows on here, as well as a fresh door seal kit. And we also do some additional sealing on the bottom to ensure that this tool doesn't leak at all. It kind of has a tendency to do that if the door seal is not installed properly, and we pay close attention to that. So we'll go ahead and close that. One aspect I actually did forget to mention about this tool before we began is to identify where this tool is going. This tool is going to the East Coast. This customer has purchased 2 HTC 8030s from us. This is the second shipment in those in that pair of tools on the order. All right, now we're going to inspect underneath here. As you can see, this has also been cleaned out. Inside here, we're going to have our pre-filter and HEPA filter. Here is our water recirculation pump. This has been completely broken apart and rebuilt. And here we have the fan that sucks in outside air for the dry. That's the air comes in, goes through a pre-filter, goes through a HEPA filter, and is then prepared for the chamber. So everything in here has been cleaned out. Looks like we have new springs for the door as well. Okay, we'll take a quick trip over here. Can't show inside both boxes because we're a little limited on space, but we come inside this power box. So, not sure if you're able to see in there too well, but kind of coming around. All these breakers are tested and replaced as necessary to ensure that it's capable of handling the 208 volts that this tool requires. We're going to have 50 amps running through this service right here. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and get this closed up. Okay. The other power box is right here. It's a little more difficult to see, but similar to the other one, this one has a little more wiring in it and more lower voltage breakers, or sorry, lower amp breakers. Go ahead and get this guy closed up though. All right. And the last item we have over here is the Trebor DI water heater. This is a 480 volt system right here. We would have this installed on the front right here, but we're a little limited on cable length at our site, so we have the wires run straight in through the front right here. This will be configured for proper use when the shipment occurs. So go ahead and get the tool fired up now. First I have to power on from the main power supply. Now our screen is going to go ahead and turn on. Are you able to see it okay there with the lighting? Okay. So here we have an HTC 8030 cleaning system. Go to the main menu. Here we can do complete cycle review. Oh, I actually just started the tool on accident, so we're going to go ahead and reset that. We're going to do a emergency power off. I'll show that that works while we're at it. So, oh, I forgot, after you do a reset, you got to come back and turn it on from the main power breaker over here. And we did a system reset. So, to run a complete cycle, you hit complete cycle. To run a dry cycle, you hit dry cycle only. Now I wanted to show are the process timers. So here's where we can see the process that's currently set up. We got a 4-second surfactant, 30-second wash, 15-second mist, 30 seconds for both rinses, a 40-minute dry timer, and an 8-hour DI heater idle timer. That shuts off the DI heater if it's idle for that long. We're going to go ahead and change these settings. Here the password for our process is 1111, enter. Now we have access. To change something, it's as simple as redefining it. So I'm going to go 3 seconds for the surfactant, hit save, and exit. Now we have if we go to the process timer, 3-second surfactant timer set up. So it's really a pretty straightforward design right there. You can also do the same thing with temperature settings, but I'm going to come into the system menu here because we have a different password. Coming into manual mode, the password for maintenance is 9999. So we have all ones or all nines. Here we can turn on various aspects to do troubleshooting. You can go from that screen. We have this screen for DI fills. And lastly, we have a screen here for the patrols and the green flashes for all the lighting. Thought that was the last one, but here's the last one. Here's the air knives. This is an important screen for testing of the air knife function inside the tool. Just a quick demonstration that this guy works. We will do the door lock. You can hear it quite loudly just lock up right there. So, we're going to exit. And now we're going to get ready for our process. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the camera positioned in the middle. We'll go ahead and start a process here. Then we're going to demonstrate the rinse and wash steps. Then once we kick into dry, we're going to cut the video and we'll pick it back up right where the camera is with about a minute before it's finished. That way we can cut out a bit of pretty much redundant dry time and close this guy up. So enjoy. Okay, so right now we're in DI fill. That's because we're filling in the back of the chamber a reservoir of DI water that's going to be used for the recirculation pump during the wash process. Everything's looking good on the back as well. So now here we have the wash. So we don't actually have surfactant hooked up, but we do fill up our surfactant canister with water, so that way we can ensure the fill sensor works properly. We would normally see more soap right here, but we're just doing a standard DI wash instead of a surfactant infused wash. Okay, so now we're draining. Basically the drain step is to drain out all of the surfactant infused water. few more seconds of drain time. Okay, now we're going to fill up the DI reservoir again for another set of recirculating. However, this time there will not be a surfactant spike. So we're now going to be washing out all of the surfactant that is residual in the chamber. So this has a preset timer of 75 seconds. However, there is also a fill sensor back there. So I expect, just like last time, it will meet the sensor and initiate the sequence prior to the 75 seconds. There we are. Okay, taking a peek inside, and all the spray arms are operating properly and rotating as expected. The chamber is soaked. Now we're going to be doing our preset drain. Unlike the fill sensor, the drain doesn't necessarily have a sensor here. It just drains for the full 60 seconds to ensure there's no water left in the DI reservoir. Okay, now we're going into rinse number 2. We're going to go ahead and fill again. You have 2 rinse steps to ensure that all the residual surfactant is washed out of the system. Process pump is washing. All right, now we got another 60 seconds of drain before we will move on to the drying step, the longest step of the total process. At this point, the dry preheat has just kicked in. So although we're draining, the tool's already beginning to get the drying process moving. All right, so now we are officially starting our drying process. You'll see on here that it has the air heater on, the blower and the ionizer all on. It has a dry temp that it's going to it has a set point for of 65°C, and you have air knife zones that are going to rotate through. So there's really not just enough flow to have all of them operating at the exact same time, not enough nitrogen flow. So there's a rotating pattern. We just went from air knife zone 1, now we're on air knife zone 2. So by zone, it really means one of the air knife bars that are scattered throughout the system and take turns operating. So air knife zone 2 is still operating. Now we're on to air knife zone 3. So you have 30 seconds per zone for the entirety of the dry time. This is the point where we're going to go ahead and pause the camera. We have 38.5 more minutes of dry time. When I get back to about 2 minutes, I'll get the camera back going again. We'll see the end of this process and we'll inspect the product. Thanks. And we're back. So we have 2 minutes, minute 45 left of our dry time before we'll be finished up here. Tool's looking good. Dry temp set point is 65°C. Our process value is 65°C, so we are operating at the proper temperature. Chamber feels hot, including the windows. Taking a look inside. Everything's looking dry. So I expect we'll have a successful run here. We just finished up right here with our dry time. We are now in the cool down sequence. I see here we have 120 seconds left of cool down before we'll be able to pull the product out. Looking at 60 more seconds of cool down time. I just went and felt in the back of the tool and the blower is still pulling air out, so we're really just trying to exhaust the heat that's built up in the chamber and make it more accessible for the individual who's operating the tool to actually open the door and remove product here. Okay, equipment cycle successfully completed. That's exactly what we want to see. We're going to acknowledge, and now our system status is ready. Now that we've acknowledged it, the door is unlocked, and we can Open our chamber. It's nice and warm in here. I can feel it on the door. Pulling out our cassettes. And see, our cassette here is nice and dry. It's nice and warm right now as well. So we'd be all set. Thank you for taking the time to view our video source inspection for today. Again, my name is Daniel Mullaney, and behind the camera is Jake Griffiths. We filmed this video source inspection for SciTech Process Solutions. For more information, please give us a call at 916-797-9000, and to reach me directly, dial extension 2201. Thanks so much, and have a great day.
Bye.